Machtails from the Cantina Live, episode number 74.
Set your harpoon. Follow me on the next pass.
On tonight's show, we will be having some fun with our good friends, Richard and Sarah, from Skywalking Through Neverland, as we recap Rebel Scum Con 2025.
Jedi business. Go back to your drinks.
On tonight's show, our special guest, Spencer Jowitz from the virtual Cantina Network, is here to make a very important Chicago announcement.
I hate long waits.
Grab yourself a beverage.
Yes, have some.
Smoke if you got 'em. I am your show host, Chris Mucht, and we are live inside the Wampa Cave. Let the tomfoolery and hijinks begin. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Garfield's least favorite day of the week. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes I hate it. Right now, I'm loving it because we're doing a live show. We have some very, very special guests on today's show. And I got to plug Patreon, man. We have released so much great content on Mocktails from the Cantina on Patreon, and we're giving it away for free. Yes. Remember, do not just sign up as a free member. Hit the link that's in the description of this show to get the access to all the cool content. I'm going to be talking to my good friends Richard and Sarah from Skywalking Through Neverland about their great content that they've been releasing on Patreon. We just got back from Rebel Scum Con. We had a great time down there. I got brother Rich Brendel is here as well for a cheer and a beer. And brother and show producer Matthew Rooney, the hardest working producer here in the Mocktails community. This Friday, do not forget, guys, this Friday, if you live in the Chicagoland area, my band, Rishi Mays, will be performing one of our last shows of 2025. That artwork, I know everybody says, wow, that is cool. It's not Star Wars related, but it's sci-fi related, and that was created by Patreon member and Rishi Mays drummer, brother Brad Riverdale. We'll be playing a 3-hour set. Please come out, hang out with us, have some beer, celebrate my bass player's birthday as well. And we only got about a show and a half left of 2025. This has been a long time making in the process. The Rishi Mays band. Without further ado, I'm going to bring on my brother Richard Brendel here for the cheer and a beer segment. This is where we raise our glass. If our glass is half empty, it's time to get a refill. And we cheer. We cheer. We spread joy and cheer. Rich, what are you drinking tonight, brother?
Drinking myself a mango ride. Not mango cart. This is Aldi's mango cart.
And not a mango ride, but a mango ride from Aldi, you say?
Yeah, from Aldi's, yep.
All right, so, what do we raise our glass today, man?
All right, it's been a long day, and I've been hitting it hard lately. So, since this is a Grateful Dead glass, since it's their 60th anniversary, to my mind, going to hell in a bucket, but it's sure enjoying the ride. And beer does that, so cheers.
Cheers to you, brother, and I promise you we will get your producer segment in. We will be celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Grateful Dead here before the year is over. You have my word. I will
believe it when I see it.
It's coming, brother. It's coming. Hey, man, always good to see you. Love you, and we'll see you on the next show.
Love you too, man.
All right, take care, brother. We'll see you. All right, without further ado, I got another announcement. There's a lot of announcements on today's show. A lot of announcements. I know a lot of people tuning in. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching us on the replay. And you guys are just wondering, what is this Chicago announcement? Well, you got to wait until Spencer joins us here sooner than later. This one here, actually, that is not a matinee show. It's kind of a matinee show with our California friends. On the West Coast. Rory Ross is an actor that was in The Mandalorian. I want to say he was in Ahsoka. He was in Obi-Wan. He was in a lot of different Star Wars Mandoverse projects. And we interviewed him down in Texas, Frisco, Texas. And man, what an great unexpected interview. I'm going to save that for you guys tuning in on that one on Patreon. But Rory has a contest going on here with an assortment of other couples. You get a free vote for him as the cutest couple. He just got recently married. I think he got married like a month ago, and he shares that story. Hey, cheers to Dale's out in Denver. Rory shares his marriage story in the Mocktails from the Cantina podcast episode. But I posted this link on my website, my personal website. Go vote for him and his wife as the cutest couple. And if you want to vote more than once, they are doing a charity thing, kind of a Stay Out Hunger campaign, as well as protecting the ocean, which our California friends know about all so well. So vote for Rory and stay tuned for his podcast episode on Patreon. But they're not the only cutest couple. The next couple that I have on here, good friends of ours, I got to bring Matthew Rooney on. Matthew and I brought.
Oh, hi.
Hey, I caught you reading in this day in Star Wars history. We're going to talk to the cutest couple about what is happening today. Hey guys, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having us once again. We've missed you guys. It's been 2 weeks?
Yeah, too long.
Yeah, we didn't even get a chance to wrap up when we were down there. We wanted to record some audio, but I'm like, you know what? Let's get you guys back on the show. You've been on the show a handful of times. Richard, let's start. You wrote the first book and the second book, This Day in Star Wars History. What does August 25th bring to the world of Star Wars history today? What do you got for us?
Oh, I love that you asked that. I'm going to take a pause for 1 second. And
pull it off the shelf. Yeah,
if you want to talk about August the 25th, I get an answer for you that was already prepared. Now, if you want to talk about August 24th, yesterday, that was Kenny Baker's birthday, Mr. R2D2 himself, and he would have been a good 91 years old.
Yeah.
Mr.
Wow,
Baker.
91 years old. Wow, that's up there.
That's old.
But if you want to talk about today in Star Wars history, August 25th, we'll go back to 1977, and that is when Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Chewbacca, they graced the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. And if I had my copy here, I would show you. If an original generation fan, I'm sure you had this issue, and this is where George pretty much lays out the whole Star Wars saga, from going from the big iconic lava battle on the volcano planet, and it even says in the article, Ben Kenobi dies in Star Wars. Now, this came out in August, and Star Wars came out in May, as you know, but it didn't really hit big until June. And I say that because it didn't really hit over 1,000 theaters until the midpoint of June. So not everyone had seen Star Wars at this point because it was in so few theaters. So we were only 2 months into the big Star Wars phenomenon as it going back to June. So this was a spoiler. This was a big spoiler.
Yeah. So if you did not see Star Wars up until this point, but you read the Rolling Stone article, you knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, and big headline:
Well,
Obi-Wan Kenobi dies.
well, that's bad. Like if you read the novelization beforehand,
Right, but not a lot of right.
But that's like few. Those people are few and far between.
Yes,
Those readers.
Yeah.
So
but at this point, everyone was collecting. There was so little merchandise out there. If it said Star Wars on it, you grab this. And I remember reading this, going, a volcano planet. Whoa, I want to see this. And he really, once again, goes into a lot of the prequel stories.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, you must get this. Once again, this was the highlight of today in Star Wars history. August the 25th, 1977, this issue came out.
Matthew, how hard can you work back there whipping that cover up? I'm sure that's on Google somewhere. Who's kind of a historian in his own right, but I think he focuses on the audio dramatization. Is our good friend and his wife John Tenuto and Mary Jo, but they do a lot of things at libraries. Now, Richard, you guys make a lot of convention appearances. I wanted to talk to you guys about, because we were in the eye of the storm. We were down there together. It was great hanging out with you guys. We had such a great time at your 2 panels. The game show, I'm going to play a game with you guys before we bring Spencer on, because I think that every convention needs to have you guys doing a game segment. It was the highlight for me. I mean, it's a lot of fun. You guys, there's that cover. There
it is right there. Yes.
And Dolly Parton is on there as well. Her name, at least.
I see where your eyes went.
For all the 8-year-old kids, we went to Dolly Parton first, then went to go to the Star Wars article.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That's awesome. So that came out today. That came out August 25th.
August
1977.
1977.
That's amazing. What was your overall takeaway for Rebel Scum Con? Because it was your first one too, like ours, correct?
Yeah, it was our very first Rebel Scum Con, and we've been hearing a lot about it from our good friend Spencer Jowitz, and he was raving about it. It's like, okay, we'll go to this convention. Oh, there we go. I think that was taken right before you guys had to depart for that Sunday.
That's why I had that sad look on my face.
And look at Matthew over there. I've never seen him look more sad. Yeah, and
time to go.
Typically, did it meet your expectations? Because I know Spencer hyped it up. I know we had some friends that hyped it up as well, and I feel like it definitely surpassed my expectations.
Oh, by far. This is such a big convention just dedicated to Star Wars, and with all the Star Wars fans there, and the way it was run was just impeccable. I don't think I have a negative thing to say about the whole convention.
Yeah, at least for us. And I think what's fun about it is we're used to these giant conventions. We had just come off of San Diego Comic-Con 2 weeks before that. And before that, we always go to D23 and WonderCon. Those are just really big conventions. And to have this nice convention that was attached to the hotel that you were staying at was really great. And then, of course, we always love a focused convention. So the fact that this was all Star Wars was great. And because of the Embassy Suites breakfast in the morning, you'd be having breakfast next to Dennis Lawson
over there,
yeah,
David Ankrum over there.
Exactly.
Howie Weed is cutting you in line for waffles.
Yeah,
Lauren Peterson is ordering his 3rd omelet of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you bring up the actors kind of sharing breakfast with us, because this is something that I experienced for the first time when I went to London in like 2000, right? Like small conventions, the actors were just amongst the crowd. We did see that at the early days of Star Wars Celebration as well, but obviously as Celebration got bigger, that element got lost. And there's just something really cool about the level of intimacy that still exists after all these years, you know?
Oh, very, very much so. And I love me a good Comic-Con, but it just gets so overwhelming there. And if you want a very personalized experience, something very personal, this is the convention to go to, because you can talk to any of walk right up to the actors and talk to them, have a good conversation, see them in the hallways, and all the fans are right there in a very small area, meaning Comic-Con. If you wanted to hit one panel, it's a 2-day walk this way. Next panel, it's a 3-day walk this way. But right here, everything is just so confined, and you have the best of the best Star Wars fans. Like the one thing that we did forget to pack was our Zoom recorder. It's like, how can we record anything without our Zoom recorder? But then here comes our good friends, Chris and Matthew. It's like, hey, the Zoom recorder right here. You can borrow ours. It's like, thank goodness for you too. So
yeah, I think
always there helping each other.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's that's the great thing, because as you guys know, in the world of, for lack of a better term, content creators, there seems to be this stepping on one another. There seems to be this high level of competitiveness and not respecting our fellow fan creators. But with you guys, I love the fact that we have this history that goes back so long. And it's, when you guys said, hey, we forgot something, and we were like, hey, you know what? Not a problem. We were done with our interviews. We were more than happy to help out. And I think that is what we need more of in this world of creating content,
Very much so. And in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'm going to be on a panel at LA Comic-Con all about toxic fandom. And about Star Wars toxic fandom. And I can't wait to do this because I want to raise my hand and say, toxic fandom? Have you been to Rebel Scum Con? Because there was no toxic fandom there whatsoever. I know you have Simon Pegg out there on social media going, oh, Star Wars fandom is so toxic. Oh, you want to stay away from this? Or you can go to Rebel Scum Con and there's no trace of that whatsoever. And it is what you make of it. If you want to hang around those circles that are just based in toxicity, that's what you'll get. But if you have a group like all of us who would just say nothing but positive things, then it'll be a positive experience. So it kind of shows you who is saying that and what their experiences are, because we don't experience any kind of Star Wars toxicities.
No.
Not
the world.
Yeah, and the fandom, it's great.
Well, you know what? You need to stay where you're at then. you need to keep riding that wave, because it is out there. But if you stay away from it, the shark's in the water. But if you know where it's at, you won't get bit. You swim
away from the sharks.
Swim away from the sharks. Exactly.
That's why I don't go in the water. In fact, we just released our a video on Instagram. It's our highest video yet of 1.2 million views. And it's we went to a live reading of Return of the Jedi last week, and we recorded this little bit of the Jedi Rocks.
Like a band.
They had a band come out and do Loptinek and Jedi Rocks. They were.
I saw that. I saw that on your page. Yes.
Yeah. And we put up Jedi Rocks, and 90% of the fans were like, "Yeah, this is awesome." They could recognize the talent that went into making this, so we could see it live on stage. But you get those fans going, "Oh, George Lucas ruined my childhood."
This is the worst part of the special edition. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Delete.
Yeah, delete. I deleted. I was moderating and deleting some of those comments, but
I don't know. Maybe
positive.
Maybe that's a California thing. Everybody's laid back and calm and collective in California for the most part. For the most part. You know what? Did you guys happen to bring a little whiteboard or a piece of paper?
Yes, we did.
Because I need to do this with you guys, because I know you guys love games. I love games. We don't play the games enough as we used to. I got to give a shout out to Andy from Miami, also producer of Machtails from the show as well, tuning in tonight. Okay, so I want you guys to write down your own answers, and I want to see how much on the same page that you guys are. Okay, you say that you've just posted something that's got the most views from this Return of the Jedi segment out in California. Out of everybody that you interviewed together on Skywalker Through Neverland, who is your favorite guests? Your one favorite guest, you're like, man, I'm so glad we got an interview with this person. And I know you don't want to call anybody out, but it's like, who's the one person that just, you couldn't live without?
Okay, I got my answer locked in. All right, tell us when they want us to reveal our answers.
You can reveal. Yeah, I don't think Sarah's going to cheat. She's drawing a picture over there.
This is my answer right there.
Oh.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay.
All right, I have. This is my answer. I have two answers because I don't follow the rules.
Well, at Rebel Scum.
Oh, at Rebel Scum? You didn't specify.
You know what? I would say in general, but you know what? How about Rebel Scum for you, Sarah?
Oh, okay.
Overall, you said Ashley Eckstein was.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go.
And then I got to ask you, did you guys get turned away from anybody?
Oh, yeah, didn't we? But yeah. So I'm gonna say that.
Oh, okay. You're on the same page here.
Oh, Dennis Lawson.
Yeah.
And he's part of the original trilogy, so you have to have him at some point in the show. And I've been trying to get. I've met him at several other conventions, other shows. Like, hey, can you come on this show on Skywalking? It's like, yeah. Here's my email address. Well, that didn't work out.
You know what? I think you what I talked about then. I think the thing is that when you're there, you got to get them in person. When you're there, it's so much easier. Andy says Rebel Scum Con is more of a con geared towards the OT. No, I would not say Rebel Scum Con is geared towards the OT. I would say maybe ICC down in Nashville, which I highly recommend as well. Talking about contemporaries, I think if you love Rebel Scum Con, you got to go to ICC and vice versa. But Rebel Scum Con, I believe it was pretty well diverse in the lineup. What did you guys say? So?
Yes.
Oh yeah, very much so. Because you had the original trilogy, you had the prequels, you had the Clone Wars, you had the Mandoverse, and like Spencer says here in the comments, it's really geared toward the saga at large.
And even when we spoke to the creators, Bobby Robertson
and Kentucky,
they mentioned that they try to get a number of guests from different
the sequels
of the Star Wars life. So
yeah, we had Skeleton Key, we had Andor, and we had Ewoks too.
And we had artists, but the only thing we did not have was authors. I noticed.
That's true.
So interesting.
Yeah, maybe that's right.
For next year.
Yeah.
There's always room, and there's always so many Star Wars alumni. Okay, the next question for you. This is overall, so not pertaining to Rebel Scum Convention, but out of everything that you guys do for your show, Skywalking Through Neverland, what is your spouse's? This is kind of like, how well do you know your spouse? What is your spouse's favorite thing about the show? Whether it's creating a certain segment, whether it's editing, whatever, interviewing, whatever. What is your spouse's favorite part about Skywalking Through Neverland? We need a little game show music here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm gonna put I'm gonna say this.
To the creators.
Oh. Okay. So we got. Is that true? Expose your answers. Is that true?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I say talking with artists.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That works too. Yeah.
Artists, creators. Okay.
Artists, composers, meaning right. Yeah.
Yeah. When at Rebel Scum, they had a lot of artists there. We just went boom, boom, boom. We'll talk to them all, and it was just so much fun because each one of them went into analyzing their own artwork. And Sarah, being an artist, she was like, "Oh, more."
Yeah, so it was fun unlocking that artistic. Yeah, it's easier to, like, I find it a little hard to talk to actors because you can only ask them so much. Like, yes, they know about their characters, but to me, that's not as interesting as talking to like a creator of a show or like an artist talking about their work. I can relate more with that than because I've never been like
sure. Yeah, and I know you have a heavy art background, and you were the one that you did the own artwork for the book, the journal, the Star Wars Journal, correct?
Yes.
And people can get your books again. Where can they get their books? Your books?
skywalkingthroughneverland.com/book.
And then you guys obviously have the Patreon page, and you guys have a lot of content on YouTube as well. All right,
yes.
Let's see. Here's another one. Who puts in the most work when it comes to Skywalking Through Neverland? Who's the hardest worker here? Again, we're sticking to the couples theme because Rory here.
Oh, I didn't see.
All right. Okay. All right.
I said equal.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's good though. You guys are in a very, very, very good spot with those answers. Okay.
That's doing a lot of work.
Who is your spouse's favorite sequel character? Sequel trilogy character?
Oh, geez. Like blanking. Oh. Wait a minute. Ooh,
Okay. So that's Sarah's character, yes?
Yes.
oh, I was just going to say, I couldn't think of his name.
That's both your favorite characters.
Yeah. He's just so.
Okay, from the sequel.
Yeah, do we have him?
Yeah, he's,
Or is he in the...
oh, he's in the other room.
He's in the other room.
Who doesn't like Babu Frick? All right, hey, I want to thank you guys for playing along. I want to thank you guys again for entertaining the crowd with the game show segment and the Marvel comic reading with Anna Graves. That was so much fun. Yeah, this is a screenshot here of I just wanted to take something of what you guys do to document. But I mean, this is like a professional game show.
Yeah.
I was like, man, how am I going to compete with this? You know, I'm using this as an influence and inspiration. We need, you know what? Maybe we need to do a collab next time we're at the same convention.
That'd be
Because
fun.
I love playing along, but then I can't play. If we do a collaboration, I can't play along, and I want some prizes too. So I would be
That's right. You got to walk away with a whole bunch of stuff.
Be disqualified for that. Yeah, it was a good time, and man, the Marvel reading. Okay, so people can see the Marvel readings that you guys do, which I was a part of as well. Is this a Patreon only thing, or can they see this on YouTube as well?
They can see that on YouTube. It was the classic Marvel Star Wars comics reading with Anna Graves all the way to the left, and a big shout out to Spencer Jowitz for helping to create this experience with getting Anna Graves. And over to the right, there's our good friend Jeff Caffrey, who joined along from the Virtual Cantina
from the Virtual Cantina Network as well.
Yes.
The Virtual Cantina Network family, I like to say. Hey,
that'll be up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be up in a couple weeks. Last question before I let you guys go. What is your next convention appearance?
Oh.
That will... Well, our work.
Yeah.
Well,
hold on. We're in talks. We're in talks for one. We have one that's definitely happening at the end of September.
Yeah. So the Legacy Expo, which is a convention much like Rebel Scum, a little smaller, but it just deals with expanded universe.
Right.
That's
So
cool.
we're in talks with them for doing a couple of game shows
on September 14th. That's in Burbank. It's like the Marriott Convention Center. So again, it's another con that's like attached to a hotel, kind of a smaller con.
We're on schedule right now. So if you watch our social media, you'll see a bunch of blasts. And then in September 27th, 28th, that's a Sunday, I'll be doing LA Comic Con with Craig Miller about toxic fandom.
Yeah, that's a panel that he's
I'm not coordinating or producing that. That's Craig Miller's.
No, and then I'll be there.
We got to get Craig Miller back on the show. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being, and he's been on the show here twice. Just a great guy, and I always love to see him do things with you guys. Again, I'm assuming it's the California connection there.
Yeah, he just lives up the street from us, oddly enough. So we do a lot of stuff together.
There's his book. People can get your books. People can get your books as well. And again, guys, thank you. I'm going to have you on the Halloween show. I told you that. And you know what? I'd like to have you guys both on the Halloween show and the Christmas show. But until then, guys, we'll see you guys next time.
All right. We missed you guys already.
Adios.
Hey, you, man. Thanks again for joining the show. You guys have a good night.
Thank you.
Hey, without further ado, right on the money here, we are welcoming our good friend, Spencer Jowitz from the Virtual Cantina Network. Spencer,
what's going on, guys? Long time no see.
I know.
Yeah.
Again, like our friends Richard and Sarah, it's like, we miss you. It's like time goes by. We had such a great weekend together, and we can't wait for the next one. But you are here. I want to say, I'm not paraphrasing, but I'm quoting Krennic. I have an announcement. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong. If Krennic did not say I have an announcement before he opened fire on all those scientists. Hey, what do we got going on, Spencer?
So first and foremost, guys, thank you so much for having me on tonight. Very happy to be on this show, and it's not lost on me, and it's not like a coincidence that I'm actually on this show to make the announcement for the Virtual Cantina Network. So first and foremost, thank you so much for allowing me the time to come on here to talk about that, and we'll talk about some stuff afterwards. But what I'm going to announce is the final live event for 2025. And yes, I have been teasing that it is going to be in the Chicagoland area. And I'm proud to say that on Wednesday, October the 25th, in Chicago, we are going to be hosting with our good friends VIP Home Theaters an evening with Diana Lee Insanto, who, as we know, is Morgan Elsbeth from The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Tales of the Empire. And part of that evening will be a live podcast interview hosted by our very own Chris Mock.
And I'm honored. I am so happy inside right now. Spencer, you and I have been talking about this for a long time. And it's a privilege and an honor to accept your invitation to host such a wonderful event in my home city of Chicago. I got to ask you, why Chicago? Why your last event for the year?
So we've had an extraordinary year, as you know, between the major sellout that we had in Japan, part of Celebration, as well as you guys were there, that freaking Bunta Eve that we ran at Rebel Scum, which was off the chain. We typically really was. We only really do like one massive show a year, maybe two if we do that. I mean, look at that shot right there. That's at its peak, 500 plus fans, members of our Virtual Cantina family, piling in for live band karaoke, incredible signings, two massive sabacc tables, which I did see a kind of a version of Mr. Mock, maybe with a couple of extra libations playing at the sabacc table, as you can see right over there, with our good friend Jesse over there. And
you got Macaroni behind our Patreon supporter Jesse. He's falling asleep because it's past his bedtime.
Yeah, right. And then Troy, who's one of our family members, right in front of it. But besides our typical massive meetup that we're going to do at Rhode Island Comic Con in November, this is our last in-person event as far as producing an event outside of just doing, going to a Dave and Buster's, which we're doing in Rhode Island Comic Con for that. But what we're very excited about this event, because only 50 tickets will be going on sale on September the 1st at 12 p.m. Central. Once again, only 50 tickets are going to be on sale. So it's going to be a very intimate evening. First hour is going to be almost like a cocktail hour of getting to know members of the group, the location that we're going to be in, which the location is a secret location that once you apply for your tickets, we will have a private group that will reveal location. And the only reason we're doing this is because we cannot hold the capacity of a line outside. So only those who know will be able to get in.
So
and on top of that, yeah.
It's not a speakeasy situation, but to avoid the mass crowds, only the 50 people that buy the tickets will. God, we just talked about how intimate Rebel ScumCon is. 50 people at this event. I mean, this is going to be a fantastic, wonderful, unforgettable evening.
It's going to be an incredible evening. Like I said, you can get to meet many of our members and our team and see some demonstrations from our co-sponsor VIP home theaters who are involved in this event, but also a live podcast for 50 people hosted by Chris that can be recorded for mocktails in the future or anything that goes on from there, or we can live broadcast if we want to. There's so many things that we can do, but at the end of it as well, your ticket includes an autograph and a selfie with Diana. So no matter if you're coming in there with your son or your daughter and you're buying 2 tickets, that means you get 2 selfies and 2 autographs. But also what's great about it as well is that Diana will be available if you're bringing more than one item to be signed by her. She will sell additional autographs at her table, but each ticket guarantees you a photo, a selfie, and an autograph with Diana.
Nice. And you get swag.
Yeah, and you get swag, and you get a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, honestly, this is one of the things that we want to do is we want to offer these intimate, kind of like informal events on top of our massive events. And the great thing about this is we have the opportunity to do a Chicago-centric show. Diana, who is a native of Chicago, and the host with the most, Mr. on the top, Mr. Mocked up there. It's just a perfect amalgamation for us to come into town and be like, hey, why don't we do this?
Why don't we make it a Chicago thing? Right.
Yep, absolutely. So on September the 1st at 12 p.m. Central, tickets will go on sale for an evening with Diana Lee and Santo in Chicago.
Okay, so September 1st at noon, where people are going to scan this QR code here? Is that where they're going to find the website? Or
correct? So what you're going to do is it's going to go to www.virtualcantina.com, and you'll just go to the events page, and the events page will have the link to our ticketing page. You just order right there, and then part of actually the order form is actually it says, please put your Facebook account name in the form. So what I'm going to take from there is I'm going to take your name and I'm going to add you to the private VIP room that we're going to discuss the location and stuff about the event. So like I said, it's not going to be a public event. Unfortunately, we only have 50 spots that we can do based upon the space that we have here. Trust me, if we could fit 500 or plus like we did in Texas, we would. So we're talking about a Wednesday afternoon after work, nice little intimate event where people can come and actually have a conversation with Diana, get some autographs, hear some stories. It's just going to be an incredible evening.
I think this might be her first Chicago signing, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if she's done C2E2 or Fan Expo, because I know she has done the Fan Expo circuit. She has done the Informa shows, so I'm not quite sure about that. However, as you know, having been at Rebel Scum and, of course, our Boon to Eve, Diana was there. So the fact is that we're very excited that we get to work with her again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's amazing to have that relationship. Now, I want to finish up 2 things. Okay, so it says refreshments, and you did say that there was a bar. Is it a refreshments include? Like, are the refreshments included with the ticket?
Refreshments are included. It's not a bar. So this is not going to be at a bar. So I'm flat out letting you know right now. So it's going to be like light snacks and drinks and all of that nature, but it's not going to be anything that's going to be like of massive quantities. Like it's going to probably be like soft drinks and waters and juices and stuff of that nature. We're not doing any alcoholic or anything like that. And Joanna would know. Joanna is my swag mistress. She lives in the Chicagoland area. So she'd absolutely know that where Diana was before. So it's going to be just basically a little bit of nosh and beverage while you're there and hanging out. Maybe we'll go out afterwards or something like that to one of the local places because there's a bunch of restaurant type bar, pizza places. I've already been looking for a pizza place. I do know that There is a Portillo's within driving distance, so my team and I are absolutely going for our Chicago dog and chocolate cake shake before the event because we have to.
You got to get it in Chicago. I saw Portillo's down in Frisco, Texas, and I'm like, it's not the same.
we saw that too, and it was kind of like, we also thought, ooh, there's an In-N-Out, and we didn't even get to go to even Whataburger. We had no time to do anything. Like the first night we were there, my team and I, we were going to go into downtown Dallas for dinner. And we're like, something, we need to do some stuff. So then we were going to go to Hitchens, which is next to the Revel. And the line for the Hitchens was around the corner. So we ended up having our first night dinner at the Revel where we were doing Bunta the next night. So we're like, well, we can't. The only time we left was actually literally to either go to Dave & Buster's on the Saturday night or we had dinner both nights at the Revel where we were doing our show. So we didn't get to, but hopefully I can say that unofficially, we were asked back for 26 for Rebel Scum. So Kentucky and I are already in talks. Things are looking good. But that's all I can say about that. But we're like I said, we're excited about this event. It's going to be a nice little intimate black box type of event that 50 people are going to get to enjoy. And also, it's going to be great because the fact is that if you go to a con, go to a con with Diana, you're going to have couple hundred people in there and you don't really you feel like you're not really part of it in some capacities, like it's not interactive enough for you to get that. But this part, there's 50 people there, so you're really in the thick of things. You're right there as it's happening. So
sure. Especially for a three-hour event, and we will do our part and make it interactive for everybody that is going to be in attendance. We love audience participation. We feed on that. We'll make it fun for everybody as well. I can't wait to have her as a guest on the show. This is a very, very, very exciting moment here in Chicago. So again, man, thank you for making this happen. I do want to bring something to my viewers' attention. You guys can help out the VCN and possibly win a prize. You guys are trying to get to how many family members?
we are just under 300 members away from 100,000 family members. So
it's amazing.
We are the world's largest Star Wars Celebration fan page right now. We've been in operation since just before Orlando 2017. And I can say that by the time we set foot in Japan before Celebration to today, we've gained close to 27,000 members from the week before Celebration to today. So we gained 18,000 from the moment I got off the plane in Boston after Japan to today. So once we announced that it was coming back to the United States, people are buzzing, especially considering the fact we're going back to Los Angeles for the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. So yes, join our group, and then you'll be put into a drawing to win a life-size Grogu statue donated to us from Danua Novo. Also, my wife will thank you because then Grogu can get off of my dining room table. But that's besides the point. But seriously, we thank everybody because there are a lot of other Facebook groups out there, especially Celebration fan groups, and they're all great. What our defining characteristic is that we are a fully functional community 24/7 that offers live events, including our special edition Bunta Eves, like we did in Texas, like we did in Nashville 2 years ago, and also what we did up and down the California seaboard last summer. But also meetups and whatever cons we go to, we try to have a meetup where people can just get together, because you guys have been a Celebration. You know that it can be very daunting, especially going in your first day, not knowing anybody, and you're like, holy crap, I am lost. But the fact of the matter is going to one of our events outside and getting to know us. Then if you're going to a Fan Expo Chicago or Fan Expo Boston and you're meeting other people, and by the time you get to Celebration, you're like, I know, maybe 5 or 6 more people. And then you come to our Bunta Eve, the night before celebration, and then you're running into line, for someone getting an autograph. It's like, I remember you from last night. You sang karaoke. Oh my God, you were great at Sabak table. Oh, we did a shot of Liquid Schwartz together, that one night. As Bruce just said in the chat, we don't have friends everywhere. We have family everywhere.
Hey, I like that. There it is. I got to ask you, but this Bunta Eve that you guys did in Texas, would you say it was? I mean, you probably obviously still riding pretty high from this. Would you say that this was one of your favorite? This was my favorite. This was one of my highlights of the weekend here playing Sabak. This was just so much fun. So much fun. I played it at Disney World, but playing it here was like, I was having flashbacks of like the late 90s when I was played poker with Richard La Pimentiere, who was Admiral Mahdi. We went to this place in Milwaukee during a convention up there, and everybody was hanging out at the bar and playing poker. And, I as a fan, like Richard and Sarah too, they've been going to conventions for years. It's amazing to still experience things like Bunta Eve, Rebel Scum, ICC Con. After all these years, it's like my friend always said, my fandom is paying dividends. And these events that you guys go to, that we attend, that we're a part of, it's amazing that it's still happening, because I don't want to talk out of school, as I say, but as a veteran of Celebration, I've seen that thing grow into a big, overwhelming monster. And it's so nice to see that there are still things going on that, like the way it used to be, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. I mean, the one thing that I would say about what we try to do at the VCN is we don't want to be bigger than the main event. We don't want to run our own con. We don't want to be a Rebel Scum Con or an ICC or Celebration. We pride ourselves on being that something more. So when someone says, but wait, there's more, guess what? We're that more. That's what we want to be. We want to enhance whatever's there. We're not in competition. We just want to help the fandom become as great as we possibly can, because honestly, in this day and age right now, I think the fandom is on an uphill and thriving, because there are events outside. Celebration's great. Don't get me wrong. I love Celebration, and I consider myself one of the biggest fans of Celebration, especially with our group. I love Celebration, but these smaller events out there are the heart and soul of the fandom at large. It's the people who are going there for the sake of loving the fandom in whatever capacity, and being able to, you're not just a number, you're a face, you're a name. Like when we went to Rebel Scum Con 2 weeks ago, we couldn't walk around the building without running into a member who we knew just because of being on the group or doing our shows or anything of that nature. We were, at Celebration, we might be one of 150,000. If there was 6,000 at Rebel Scum Con, we felt we were part of that 6,000. If that makes any sense. Sure. Like we had, we felt like the VCN was very much a part of that, and we feel like that there's so much good in this fandom, and it needs to be prevalent, because the fact of the matter, he sat right next to my wife, and his son's right in front of my wife on the plane. I was a couple of rows ahead. So I was coming back, and they were having, I came back to visit my wife, and she was there having conversations with them on the plane down to Dallas, which was hilarious. But the fact of the matter is that, listen, the fandom is in a great state right now. Fandom is excited about whatever we can possibly get to continue going on, but also people want to be part of a community. In a fandom that also can be so divisive, it's nice to know that you can be in an environment that's going to accept you into whatever you like, and you don't have to like everything. That's completely okay. but you don't have to trash the person right next to you because
Right.
they have to like
Yeah.
one other
That's
thing.
the key word. That's the key word. You
Yeah.
don't have to, like what you
Yeah,
like. But don't
I mean,
trash.
I will verbally go out and say, and I said it a million times, I love The Last Jedi. It's my favorite movie of the sequel trilogy. Is it everybody else's cup of tea? No. Okay, guess what? It's okay. It's absolutely okay not to like that. I could say I don't like Rise of Skywalker, but some people like that more. Hey, you do you, man, because the fact of the matter, at the end of the day, you just want to have that feeling of being part of something that's bigger than you. And the thing that's bigger than you, the thing that drives us all, is basically all based upon that little indie film that we might have saw around 1977 or so that made us feel like, wow, this is something great. And then we spent our entire lives loving this piece of art. Literally, let's call it, it's a piece of art. And it's basically shaped what you do, what I do, what Richard and Sarah do, what our good friend Kevin Lyle does for a living, as far as doing art is concerned. So many of us, like what Kentucky and Bobby and Josh do, even what Mike Havens does in ICC to an extent, with this, what he does with Star Wars as well. It's a reason we do this because we love the community of Star Wars brings into it in whatever facets. And if VCN can help be that like mediary in some way to just say, listen, it's okay to like whatever you like and find people that are thinking the same exact way that you are, then we're all the better for it. Because at the end of the day, I can honestly say is that, yes, there was 150,000 people in Japan. I can't tell you how many Americans or Europeans that I met over there that I've known from going to other cons throughout the United States or other celebrations. But yes, we were in a different country that English is not their first language. And yet I ran into so many people I knew from celebrations past. You didn't feel like you were in Japan. You feel like you were at Star Wars Celebration and seeing your family. And that's the beauty of this fandom, is it doesn't matter what country in the world you are, whether English is your first language or your second language or your third language, you're running into people you feel like you're home. And guess what? Star Wars is our home and is where we should be our truest self, the people that we always wanted to be. And, we can all attest that back in the day when we were kids, we all liked it, but it wasn't the coolest thing to talk about. Now it is. So guess what? We can be whoever we want to be and the person that we always wanted to be because of Star Wars. And that's what we try to emulate with VCN, is that just be you, be the good person that you are, and love what you love. And we're going to support you for that because guess what? We love it too.
See, now you just fired up my good friend Richard and Sarah, and they are doing they're partaking in this panel, toxicity of fandom. I think we're going to go there, and if they preach what you just did, people are going to be like, okay, maybe there's just a little toxicity of fandom.
The fact of the matter is that if you look at it like this, and this is why I try to tell all the time, when George Lucas wrote these stories, he wrote it for a 12-year-old as a response to the Vietnam War. It was a kid's property. He said Star Wars is for kids. Fat out. Look at someone who is our age, and I don't consider us old at any capacity. We're young at heart. But the fact is that if we're arguing over a child's property, don't we need to get over ourselves a little bit? Sure. I mean, it becomes an ego thing at that point. It's not about that. It's a fact of the matter is that we could say, okay, a lot of the OT people did not like the prequels because it was completely different. And I can honestly say that I might have been one of those people as well. But when I went to Chicago 2019 to Celebration and saw the love that Ahmed Best got, he got a standing ovation.
Yeah, that was nice.
I realized at that point that, one, I need to let go a little bit and go look at the prequels in different eyes, because it's not my Star Wars anymore. The children of the prequels were the parents bringing their kids to Celebration in 19, and it's their Star Wars. And in another 10 to 15 years, it's going to be the sequel kids Star Wars.
Yeah,
We're always going to have a love of Star Wars. But the thing is that everybody has an entry point, whether it's from the movies, from the animation, from video games, from action figures, whatever your entry point is, at the end of the day, that's what you're going to have an affinity for. You know, guess what? At the end of the day, you're all coming back in for the same thing. You know, you might have an affinity towards a sliver, but the overall property, the IP in itself, is what gets people coming back year after year, traveling the world just to hang out with people that you might see on Zoom, people you might see on a show like this. And that's the beauty of our fandom that you can't get anywhere else. We all love different properties, but Star Wars, man, Star Wars is the one that we will travel the world and the ends of the earth to be part of something that might only last for 5 minutes.
And it's bigger than us.
We all enjoy it because we can all say at the end of the day, we were there.
Well, I think we do that because it is bigger than us and it's such a big part of our life and it's been a life-changing thing. It's like, how can you not? And that's why I have a hard time shitting on anything about Star Wars, you know, and sometimes I feel like I'm the odd man out, you know, because I just hit 50. I was there, you know, when the original trilogy came out. I saw Star Wars when I was 2, and I consider myself an OT guy. But when I saw the prequels, I was like, man, this is what George wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And people were crapping on it then. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. You guys wanted more Star Wars. People are always going to complain. Yeah. I know.
That's really what it's going to do. You remember back when Phantom Menace came out, all we had was AOL chat rooms. That was the only social media we really had.
AOL chat room. You got me.
And people were saying George's off his rocker. People said George should sell it to Disney because he doesn't know what he's thinking about. He lost sight of his own community. He lost sight of his own vision. If we had Twitter back in the 90s, I don't think he would have made the rest of the sequel trilogy, the prequel trilogy at all. I think that it would have been so toxic from there. And you saw it because the fact of the matter is, let's face it, social media in itself is one of the main reasons why between Last Jedi and Solo caused the whole rift. And then Solo, for lack of a better word, should have stayed in December as opposed to moving to May to try to combat some of that social media like brouhaha. Mm-hmm. But if it stayed in December, you would have had 12 months of just being letting the fandom breathe a little, because sometimes we just need to breathe.
That's what the nice thing about the Lucas era was, is that we had a chance for it to breathe, you know? It was
we also had 16 years to breathe, and possibly we were kind of hungry.
A lot of breaths.
We were thirsty a little bit, and thank you for feeding us a little bit of something. But the fact of the matter is that now we don't have to have that 16 years. We don't have to have the dark times, you know?
And I feel like it's breathing right now. You know what I mean? I feel like at first we were getting a lot of shows, and now it's like, well, wait a minute. Andor finished? Okay.
It's been 6 years since we've had a theatrical film, right?
So next year's gonna be fantastic. They're in pre-production to start filming Starfighter in the next month or two, really. So their docket they're going back towards, because we all know Star Wars is the best when you're in a crowd with hundreds of people watching it and freaking the hell out when you see a long time ago in Galaxy Far, Far Away. I mean, that's what Star Wars is best. The Disney Plus era is fantastic because it's given us that opportunity to have those filler stories of things that we wanted to see, but getting back to where we started is the right way to go. And it's going to be exciting because it's going to give opportunities for groups like, you know, fans of Machtails, you know, the VCN family, to meet up at movie theaters and say, guess what? 30 of us are going to go to the movies and go out for drinks afterwards to talk about that movie. You know, when they did the showings like Andor, Acolyte, I went with, like, you know, our good friends Kevin and Jesse and Dominic, all for drinks afterwards to talk about that. And that's what's going to happen around the movies that are going to come out in the next year or so. And we got a lot of things to look forward to.
That was a big part of all those Lucas releases and even the sequels, the theatrical releases really brought people out to see movies how they should be seen on the big screen. And then afterwards we went out for dinner and drinks,
Yeah, it's all social, but the fact of the matter is that this trilogy, this saga as a whole is in our hearts. And this is where we thrive. This is, it's changed a lot of our lives. Definitely changed your life. It changed my life, completely. And the fact of the matter is that the love for Star Wars is contagious in whatever capacity it is. And we love it. And the fact is that we keep on meeting people that say, wow, I didn't know there was other people like me out there. And we're like, oh, as Lando said, there's more of us, it literally there's more of us. And we welcome that. We welcome anybody like any part of Star Wars. There's no wrong part of Star Wars if you love Star Wars. If you start to segregate Star Wars, you can like what you want, but don't yuck someone else's yuck. You either love Star Wars or you don't love Star Wars. It really comes down to one or the other.
Amen to that, man. Hey, Spencer, I want to thank you for joining us on the show, making this major announcement. Again, this is going on sale, virtualcantinanetwork.com. This is going to happen on you said the September 1st at noon, correct? September 1st at noon?
Correct. So if you could put up the graphic again, that'd be great. Thank you so much, guys. September 1st at noon on virtualcantinanetwork.com. We'll have the links also up on our Facebook page, which is the Star Wars Celebration 2027 Los Angeles page. Look for the one that's close to 100,000 members. Only 50 tickets are going on sale, which includes you get one autograph, a selfie, and some swag and some light refreshments. And you get to have an evening with the magistrate, the Night Sister, the one and only Diana Lee Inosanto, with a very exclusive interview with her, with our very own Chris Mock.
Hey, I'm honored. I'm honored. This is more than a privilege. And I thank you so much for the invitation. And I look forward to seeing you in Chicago instead of waiting until Rebel ScumCon next year.
Yeah.
I'm going to see you sooner than that.
Brother, it's always a pleasure seeing you. I enjoy seeing you at any show that we go to.
Likewise.
I'm very excited. But once again, thank you very much for jumping in on this project with us. When I decided to do this project, you're the first person I thought. I was like, I got to get Mock involved. Like, I got to do some business with Mock. So I'm very excited that we'll be able to do this.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Love you for it. And I look forward to seeing you in October, man.
Looking forward to it, bro. Thank you so much for having me on tonight, guys.
Hey, take care. Thank you so much. Hey, Matthew, we're out of time. We are out of time. We are not going to be able to recap our personal experience at Rebel ScumCon. But here's the thing. Kentucky and Bobby Robertson, the promoters of Rebel Scum, they could not join us tonight. We are going to have them on in our September show. So I'd like to have you back as always. Yeah. And we can kind of share our highlights from it. But before I let everybody go, after listening to the interview with Roger Christian today when I was editing it, Kyle Solar or Roger Christian, man, those are two. There he is signing brother and producer Todd Suds Sedlak book for him there. Man, I can't believe I think I'm going to roll this high that I have from Rebel ScumCon right into the holiday season, which we call Christmas.
Let's go.
And it's going to take a long time to really crank out all these interviews that we've done because there are just so many good ones. And, we keep our show to an hour. And well,
that's good, though, because it'll lead us all the way into the next one.
It really will. It really will. And, obviously we dropped the ball a little bit with the full-length episodes. We kind of were on a roll for 200 weeks in a row. And we, train kind of fell off the track. And but we got back on, and we got back on thanks to people like Michael Havens, thanks to people like Kentucky and Bobby Robertson for these wonderful conventions that they give us. Bruce, thank you so much for tuning in, man. Don't forget, click the link in the show description and get your free access to Machtails from the Cantina. I want to thank my show producer, Matthew Rooney, for all the hard work that he's done not just tonight, but for so many episodes. I am your show host, Chris Mock, and we will catch you guys next time on another episode of Mocktails from the Cantina Live, and we will see you in Chicago for that very, very special event. I want to thank all my guests again, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in and your support on Patreon. So long, everybody.